Welcome, everybody. Good morning. Thanks for joining us for this LearningExpress library overview for the Vermont Department of Libraries this Wednesday morning, March 9th. My name is Shayna. I am a senior customer training specialist with EBSCO. I'm very happy to be presenting today's session. We do have about an hour. Yes, it does. It's like 42 Mondays, it seems like, in this month. But we're close to the end of the week, at least halfway there. So our hour-long agenda today, we're going to navigate the LearningExpress library platform so that you can educate your patrons about the wealth of resources available to them. The Vermont Department of Libraries has done a fabulous job of providing these resources to your patrons. And we're going to talk about those, and we're going to get you comfortable with it so that you can start making those recommendations when needed. The first half will cover all things skill building and test prep. We'll cover those centers on LearningExpress Library that support every learner from school age through adult education. And then the second half, we'll talk about the Job and Career Accelerator Center, which is a fabulous tool to aid your patrons with securing their next job or their next adventure. We have resources to equip them with every aspect of the job search. The objectives today are that hopefully by the end of this session, you'll be comfortable navigating LearningExpress Library and making these resources available to your patrons. You'll be comfortable registering and logging in, which is required to access all of those key resources. And you will also be comfortable with our key resource types, which include tests and tutorials, ebooks, and our job tools like our Cody Award-winning resume builder, our interviewing tutorial, as well as our occupation matcher assessment surveys, and the job search engines. We have integrations with Indeed, the Indeed job search engine, as well as USA Jobs, which is a federal government database. And you'll also know where to locate our promotional resources and get extra help at our support site, which is connect.ebsco.com. And I also noticed that you have a fabulous page on your library's website with some quick links to those resources as well. So we'll cover all of that today. Let me exit out of this. And let me start over on the libraries.vermont.gov site. We see here that you've got a great promotional link here to advertise LearningExpress, which is fabulous. This rotates, as I noticed. Now, when you access the resource, if you click here, you do have access to it. Or if you go to, I believe, Find Books and More, you'll see the link to online resources on the left side of the screen, which will take you to the link to LearningExpress. Okay. Now, many of you at your local library branches have your custom links on your library's website, which is fabulous. It will get your patrons there directly, but this is the way you can access it from the Vermont Department of Libraries website. Speaking of the resources here, there is a page dedicated to all things LearningExpress for library staff. We have a quick, let me just increase the size of this. We have a quick description, registration information, and access to our quick links on our Connect site with frequently asked questions. And you also have a recorded webinar here for public libraries and state employees, as well as for schools, and a few tutorials and marketing resources. So this is quick access from the state website. And just so you know, when you land on, actually, let me go straight to Connect. This is the website that EBSCO has for all things related to your EBSCO resources, including LearningExpress. If you see the prominent search box here at the top of the page, all you have to do is type LearningExpress. There will be some suggestions, but if we continue to click the magnifying glass, that will bring you to our knowledge base of all things LearningExpress on our website. And so you can browse through the The hits here, we've got a complete promotion kit, quick start guides, new content, video tutorials, everything you need to learn or know or access regarding your LearningExpress subscription is also at connect.ebsco.com. Okay, so back on the library's website, once you click the LearningExpress link, it will bring you to your authenticated link. And let's see if this loads properly. Oh, actually, I believe this provides information on how to make this resource available at your library. So, and maybe I should have clicked there. I thought this was a link to the site, but this is just a page that shows you what it looks like. So let's go to the link. This is actually what your URL will look like when you place your direct URL on your library's website. Now, every library in Vermont has a custom URL that gives them access to their version of LearningExpress Library. It allows you to gather usage statistics at your local library. So if you don't have a direct link on your library's website, please reach out to the Department of Libraries to obtain that direct link. Okay. You can also reach out directly to our support. Support can be accessed on Connect. I'll click back to the home page. If you need to reach out to support, all you have to do is under the Need Quick Help section on the Connect site, click the How do I contact support. It will bring you to a page here where you can request your account if you don't have one, and you click the Request Your Account Today to access our support portal. Okay, and that's how you can submit a ticket to request your direct URL, or you can reach out to, oh, I'm looking in the chat, and April, good morning, April, has placed a link to, or the email for Joshua Muse. I believe he's the one who is distributing these links, so you can reach out directly to him as well. Okay, so this is the Vermont Department of Libraries iteration of LearningExpress Library. Your library will have your library's name when you utilize that link on your library's website, your direct custom link. Okay, so now we are looking at the landing page for LearningExpress. By a show of hands or thumbs up or entering in a chat, please let me know if any of you are brand new to this platform. I'd love to know. You can unmute yourselves or enter something in the chat. I'll give you guys a moment to respond there. Just want to know where we are in terms of providing a very detailed overview or kind of scanning through things. And if I don't hear from anyone, I'll assume, oh, yes, I see Ruth is brand new. Your library account is still being set up. Okay, wait, great. And Deirdre, you've looked at it but never used it personally. That's wonderful. I love working with people who are brand new to the platform because I like to wow you. And Carrie, okay, wonderful. You've browsed the catalog, never knew. Okay, new as well. Viola, all right. So we're in a good place. Let's talk about what this is. I like to describe LearningExpress as the interactive online learning platform that provides the most comprehensive selection of career and academic resources for basic skills mastery, academic success, job preparation, and career advancement. You'll see that all of our resources, and there are over 1,000 resources when you add them up, they're all organized respectively by Learning Center. And you can see all of the learning centers on the landing page as we scroll down. You have access to 10 learning centers. Each has a title, and you can kind of get a sense for what is behind each by the title. So that's how we organize our content, all of our tests and tutorials and ebooks, flashcards, articles, video tutorials. I'm going to quickly scroll through each of these to give you a sense for what is behind it. Clicking the Career Preparation Center and clicking any center will expose the main categories of content. So you can get a sense before diving deep into the platform for what kinds of resources you will find here. So in the Career Preparation Center, you're going to find those instantly scored licensing and certification practice exams for a wide variety of occupations, everything from Air traffic control, allied health, civil service, commercial driver's license, cosmetology, hospitality, electrician and plumbing, EMS and firefighting, law enforcement, military nursing, real estate teaching. Okay, so wonderful resources for occupation practice exams or licensure or entrance exams. So for instance, I'll click the nursing exams section here. That will bring you to a landing page for this learning center. Now, keep in mind, you can place direct links to each learning center on your library's website to get your patrons directly to the resources they need quicker. So this is the career preparation landing page, and I had opened the nursing exams section. So you'll see here within the nursing exams section, we have nursing school entrance exams practice like the ATITs and the NLN PACs. We have preparation for nursing assistant and nursing aid certification. We have preparation for licensure. If you have any patrons preparing for the NCLEX RN or NCLEX PN licensing exams, we have practice for that as well. We do the same with a number of other resources covering law enforcement, military. Actually, military, we have practice for the ASVAB. So if you have anyone interested in a military career, they can practice for that ASVAB entrance or diagnostic exam before taking the actual one. Okay. We have EMS, electrician and plumbing, the journeyman's electrician practice exam. So lots of resources are here in career preparation. I'm just checking the chat and I see that Carrie has said that these are great resources for high school students looking to explore future options. Absolutely, they can get a sense for what an entrance exam looks like or a licensure exam looks like by practicing for any of these occupations. Okay, now I have clicked into a Learning Center homepage. To get back to the home, I can click the home link in the upper left corner, or I can navigate to another center with the center's drop down over here on the left side of the screen. But let's click back home. I'm going to come back to Job and Career Accelerator in the second half of our session here today. So I'm going to go over to high school equivalency, and high school equivalency has all of the resources that your patrons need to prepare for high school equivalency credentials. We offer instantly scored practice and tutorials and ebooks for the main branded resources, including the GED, the HiSET, and the TASK. Now, I didn't check to see which one of these exams is accepted in Vermont, so I'm going to click anywhere here actually in the Are You Ready section. You can see on the landing page, there is a little gray box here, and we'll click Learn how the resources can help you prepare. When you click that, that will bring you to a page that has a little map that identifies what resource or what high school equivalency exam is required in your state. And we can see here for Vermont, it's color-coded yellow. So you accept the GED, and that's great because we have fabulous GED resources. We have practice for the GED exam. We have an Are You Ready section with skill builders based on the test for adult basic education, the TABE. So we consider these kind of like the pre-GED tests to see if you even have the skills required to sit for the GED. If you do need to brush up on your basic academic skills, we have a Build Your Basic Skills section here with skill builders and resources for every subject on the GED. And then we have preparation for the actual test. We have information to learn about the GED, and then preparation for every subject with practice tests, tutorials, ebooks, and flashcards. We even have practice for the GED in Spanish. So if you have any patrons who prefer to test in Spanish, we've got preparation for the GED in that as well. Okay, so fabulous resources in the High School Equivalency Center. College admissions is also a very popular center because we have all of those college admissions test preparation resources, great for your high school students who are looking to prepare for college entrance. They can practice for the ACT, the SAT, the PSAT, advanced placement, TOEFL, IBT, and IELTS exams for free with a library card. So it's great to let your students, your parents, your guidance counselors, school administrators, teachers all know that Students can practice and prepare for these exams in advance of taking the official ones. So before they spend money on college prep programs, have them come to your local library or access it remotely to prepare. All right, we'll sample one of these in a little bit. Let me go over to the grades 4 to 8 educator resources. We've got a section here to supplement those elementary and middle school classes. We have a wonderful selection. I'll just click the middle school. We have math skills review, English language, social studies, and all different subjects for math and English language, as well as social studies. So some fabulous resources there for your middle schoolers. At the elementary school, we really start at grades 4 or limit our resources to grades 4 and 5 for elementary level. So you'll find grades 4 and 5 math skills and English language arts skills improvement. We don't have anything earlier than that grade-wise. Let me go ahead and click back home and go over to the high school student section. So we've got a number of high school level resources to build your basic skills, to support what's going on in the classroom, to supplement, as well as help any homeschooling students and families. We've got a number of resources here: mathematics skills improvement, covering a lot of subjects: algebra, functions, geometry, statistics, and so on. English language arts, science, covering biology, chemistry, earth science, and new is SciShow with some STEM resources. That's relatively new. I just saw that yesterday. We have social studies, the Constitution, civics, and geography, technology skills, computing and information technology, and technical writing, even logic and reasoning. Okay, so lots of resources to support your high schoolers. We'll go ahead and click back home. And coming over to the college students section, we have college level skills review. So if students need to brush up on their developmental resources for math, college level math or reading, language arts, writing, grammar skills, science skills, we have resources for them as well. In addition, at the college level, we have preparation for graduate school admissions exams, little known because it's kind of hidden. But if you have any patrons who are sitting for the GMAT or the GRE or the LSAT, MAT, MCAT, PCAT, and DAT, we've got practice for them as well. And for students who are newly admitted college freshmen, we have preparation for the AccuPlacer college placement exams, the ASSET college placement exams, and we have college CLEP preparation for students who want to earn college credit. They can prepare for those official CLEP exams to earn that college credit right here on our site. So lots in the college students section as well. Let me scroll over to adult core skills. This helps build your adult course or adult basic education skills for math, reading, writing, speaking, and grammar. We were founded years ago by Barry Littman, who was in publishing, and we started out by publishing test prep books. And throughout his career in publishing, he recognized that it didn't matter what your occupation was. Most occupations required a basic understanding of math, competency with reading, writing, speaking, and grammar. And so this center really speaks to building those core academic skills for success in any work environment, okay? In addition to those basic skills, we have resources to help any patron who wants to practice for the naturalization exam with citizenship practice resources. We also have that information in Spanish, and we have an ebook here with information on obtaining your green card. Okay, so that's available in adult course skills. Let me jump over to Recursos para Hispanohablantes, because this is our Spanish language center, and it basically is the equivalent to the adult core skills, but it's delivered in Spanish. So there you will find those adult level math, reading, speaking, writing, and grammar skills. Preparation for the GED exam in Spanish is housed here as well, as is the citizenship resources for the practice for the naturalization exam. Okay, and last but not least, we've got computer skills, a fabulous resource to help you brush up on those or learn more about your computer, your software. So we have some basics on getting started with your computer and the internet. Most popular, though, is our popular software tools with tutorials on today's Microsoft Office suite of products covering Access, Excel, Office 365, OneDrive, Outlook, PowerPoint, Project, SharePoint, Visio, and Word. I'll try to sample one of these in a little bit as well. Okay, let me go back to the homepage. So that covers it. We'll come back to Job and Career Accelerator a little later. I've given you a quick overview. Now, as you click into any of these centers, let's say you are interested in testing with the college admissions resources and you click the ACT section and you scan through the tutorials and the practice tests, and maybe you want to practice with an ACT English resource. We have dived deep into the platform and we are now at the resource level. So we can see that there are 4 English practice tests for the ACT. But you're stopped here. This is where you will need to sign in or register to access a resource. So you can browse the site, but when you're ready to access a resource, you will need to sign in if you are a returning user or register as a new user. If you are on any other page or a home page, you'll also see in the top navigation the sign in register link here. You might want to just do that in advance so you're not stopped at the resource level. So every user is a user, whether you are a library administrator, librarian, student, teacher, everyone registers in the same way. You click the sign in register link that brings you to the sign in page. For returning users, you can enter your username and password and click login. You can also pass through your Google credentials to create an account. If you are a new user, you'll click the register link over on the right. And that will bring you to the new user registration page where you will confirm your institution. So since I clicked the Vermont Department of Libraries site link, my institution name is listed here, but your institution name, if you're utilizing that custom link, will be listed here. And this will confirm that your patrons will be registered against your account and their statistics will be visible to you. Aggregate statistics. We have required fields here: first name, email address, and password. Okay, now if you have a patron who would prefer not to register with their email address, which would only be used for password reset, by the way, we don't solicit to your patrons. But if they don't want to create an account with an email address, they can select the register without email option. It's kind of hidden here, but it's right above that email field. And that will change the registration page. This is also our COPA compliant registration option for any students who are younger than 13. We won't ask for any personal information, including an email address. So clicking that changes the registration page to this, where they can create a username of their choosing, not an email address or any personal information, a password, and then they would select a security question from the list and provide a secret answer and click register. And then that's it. It will create an account and log them in. Now I'm already registered, so I'll go back to the login link and I'm going to enter my registration credentials. I created a training account against yours, so I'll go ahead and log in. Now, when you log in as a returning user, it will automatically bring you to the My Center repository, which will save all of your work in progress. So any tests or tutorials that you take, any job tools you save will be stored on the My Center by these tiles of information. Okay, so let's go back to the homepage. Now we are logged in. We see our name. My name for demonstration purposes today is EBSCO trainer here, but your name as a user would now be visible. You can access the My Center repository by placing your cursor over your name. You can access your user settings and you can log out from here. Now, also from a logged in state, you'll also now see a What's New link in the upper left corner. Clicking the What's New link will give you access to our quarterly updates. We update our content on a quarterly basis on the calendar year, so you can rest assured that our content matter experts are scanning our site to make sure all of our tests are up to date with the latest test specifications for the official exams. So we make those updates on a quarterly basis. Our last update was in January. We've got one coming up. And we can click through here to LearningExpress Library to see what's new, and anything that has been updated will be listed with a yellow highlight. So we updated a few resources here. New resources will be highlighted in green. So we just added the Serve Safe Food Handler practice exams. We also updated our TOEFL IBT exams, and that was in January. Okay, those are our quarterly updates. Let's click back home. So now we are looking at the platform. Now I'd like to sample a resource or two. Okay, so I promised to access a resource from college admissions. So I'll go ahead and click college admissions. I'll go back to that ACT section. Notice here for ACT, we have tutorials for every subject on the ACT, as well as an introduction to the test. We also have practice tests for every subject. And we have a completed simulation practice test section. This is really powerful because this gives your users 4 opportunities to sit for the a simulated exam modeled after the official exam in terms of timing, length, content, and scoring. So before you go off and spend money for a review, you can come and practice 4 times with a complete simulated practice exam here. Okay, but I'm not going to access the complete simulated because it's going to lock me into a long test, but I'm going to go back to the section here and I'll select just English, for instance. I'll come to the English section. I've got 4 English tests, and notice that for some of our tests, you have the opportunity to take the online version with the Start Test button, or you can print a paper copy. I'll click the online version. It's going to bring me to an introduction page where I'll review information about the exam. Over on the right, you'll see in the gray box some important details like the number of questions on the exam, the approximate time or the time for the exam. So if an exam is timed in the real world, our practice exams are timed as well. We also have test modes depending on the type of learner you are. You have a simulation mode where that timer is enforced. The practice mode is the default mode. The timer is displayed, but it's not enforced, so there's no penalty. And then the learner mode, there is no timer, and you can see the answers to the questions as you move through the exam. That's really more of a self-paced study mode. If you don't choose one, practice is chosen for you, and you can click the Start Test button to begin. Let me see, I think we have a question in the chat, and I'll just read it aloud for everyone. It says, is there anything for IB, International Baccalaureate? Our school district became IB. I don't know a lot about it. Unfortunately, we don't have anything for IB. I mean, we have supportive resources for all of the key subjects at the high school level, but we don't have anything specific for IB. It's a fabulous program, though, for your school district to adopt. It's project-based is what I understand. It's a different way of approaching subject and research, but we don't have anything specific to IB except for the supplemental resources for the key academic subjects, language, arts, math, and so forth. So advanced placement we do have, but not IB at this time. Okay, so we are taking a look at this English practice test in the upper left corner. You can move the test with the previous and next buttons below the title. You see the timer ticking down here in the green bar section. You also see a finish later button in the upper right. Now, if you don't have a full 45 minutes to complete this exam, you can hit the finish later button. It will save your work in progress and freeze the timer. And then when you're done testing, you hit the Score My Test button there to have this test instantly scored. So let me just answer a few questions here randomly. I'll just answer the first page. And let's pretend I've completed the exam. So I'll go ahead and hit Score My Test. It does give me a warning because I didn't complete the exam, but I'll proceed and score. And then I'm instantly brought to a score report. So the site automatically scores your test. You're given a score in this mustard yellow section over on the left. Now this 2 is based on a scaled exam. The ACT is an scaled exam, so it explains what that 2 means over on the right where I've highlighted. But more important than your score, since this is just practice, is our score breakdown. Because we take a look at the test specifications for the official ACT in this case, we can break down this test by the main topics and subtopics covered when it comes to ACT English. So we can see we were tested on conventions of standard English, knowledge of language, production of writing, and some subtopics like punctuation, style, and tone. We can see the number of questions we were asked, as well as our performance, how many we answered correctly and incorrectly, skipped, and then our score for each topic and subtopic, and then the total at the bottom. So if you think about this for a moment, this is really powerful because it really identifies for the user what their strengths and weaknesses are. They can take a look at where their weaknesses are and maybe focus their studies on those weaknesses to improve their overall score next time. And we do have tutorials to assist with developing those skills in deficient areas. Okay, so I'm going to show you one more or two more helpful resources here. We've got the View Answers link right next to the score. We'll click View Answers and you can see at a glance my performance. I answered a few incorrectly. They're indicated with the red X's, and a few correctly, which are indicated with green checks. But these are all hyperlinks back into the exam. So if I click anywhere, it's going to load the exam now, which has been scored. So you can see here now I'm back on my question number 1. I chose choice D. It tells me that I'm correct. And it also tells me why choice D is correct. Okay, in the answer explanation here. We can see with question number 2, I chose choice C. It tells me that that is incorrect. It tells me that choice A is correct with a green check mark, and it also tells me why choice A is correct and why my choice C is incorrect. Okay, so really powerful for self-paced study for the user to go back in and review those answer explanations. Okay. It will also tell you what skill, topic, and subtopic you were tested on for each question. All right, so let's go back to the View Score Report link. And there's another section here below the score breakdown. It's called Recommendations, and the site's going to just recommend additional resources related to the test that or the resource that you just took. So I took an ACT English practice test. And remember I said we have supplemental resources to help with those deficient areas. We see here that there is an ACT English tutorial. So I'll quickly click that. It's a hyperlink into the tutorial. And this, we use the word tutorial and course interchangeably on our site for some reason, but this is the tutorial. We see over on the left that our tutorials are very lengthy content resources. This particular tutorial has 9 units of study. Covering everything related to the ACT English. We see the title here at the top. Now we see that there are units covering sentence structure, punctuation, verbs, and so forth. If we were to open up any one of these units with the plus sign, it will expose the lessons within each unit. So we can see lessons on possessive and relative pronouns. And if we open up that lesson, it shows you all the topics. We can see topics on relative pronouns, possessive pronouns, and then there's a summary and a lesson quiz. So a lot of opportunity here for you to study and be tested on what you study. Notice at the top, I'll close this unit. At the top, most of our courses are equipped with pre-tests for diagnostic assessment, as well as post-tests. So for formative and summative assessment, we equip our tutorials to test your improvement after going through all the content here. Okay, so you can jump around. I'll click into Unit 4, Lesson 2, and jump into irregular verbs, and that brings me to the irregular verbs topic. We can see that we've got opportunities to review content. We'll go to the next page here, page 3, and then there's some built-in practice. Okay, so I see that we have a question, praxis. Yes, we do have praxis. Let me actually exit out of this tutorial. I'll click Finish later. You can either save or close without saving. That will erase any work you've done on this resource, but I'll click Save. And let me go back to the home page. Praxis. I'm going to quickly use my search box here. I'm going to type in praxis. Click the search icon. You'll see that it starts making suggestions. So you see we've got a lot of praxis resources. I'll click the search and we see all of our praxis resources. There are 51 tests with praxis in the title or the description and 5 ebooks. So there you go, praxis. Okay, praxis, I believe that is located in, is this praxis, I believe, is for teaching. So let's go back down to the teaching exams section, and there we go. We've got practice core tests, praxis subject tests, as well as NES tests and Paraprone resources. Okay, so there go your praxis resources. So thanks for asking the question, because I was able to demonstrate utilizing our keyword search box here. Okay, so I've shown you a test, I've shown you a tutorial. Let me quickly show you an ebook. I'm just going to quickly just type in a subject. I'm looking for resources, maybe ebook resources that pertain to writing. It's going to bring me to my search results page. I see there are 114 tests and tutorials. There are 7, there are 25 ebooks, and they're all listed down here in my search results. But I can isolate the 25 ebooks by deselecting the tutorials, the tests, the career tools, and now I'm the tutorials. Now I'm looking just at the 25 ebooks, and I'll just download any one of these titles. I'll download the visual writing, the first one there. It downloads as a PDF to your desktop. In the lower left corner, you see that PDF. I'm going to click it open, and now we're taking a look at our visual writing book. As I mentioned, we started as a publishing company, and we continue to publish some titles here, and we make about 200 of them available on this platform. Okay, there are no digital rights restrictions. It's unlimited usage, concurrent usage. You have opportunities to download the ebook to your desktop or to an external device or print it. It's yours once you download it. Okay, so a great resource to have in your back pocket in the event that some of your resources go missing. You have access to about 200 ebooks on our platform. Okay, I do want to move into Job and Career Accelerator, but I did promise to go over the computer skills. So let me click the Computer Skills Center here, and we will go right to the popular software tools section. I will access the Microsoft Excel suite of resources. Notice here we have versions dating back to 2007. The most recent version is Excel 2019. So I'll go ahead and click that one and see here that we have 2 different Excel video courses, a basic course and an intermediate course. We have timers here. We see that this is an hour-and-a-half course. Both of them are actually an hour-and-a-half. And to launch the course, you click the Start Tutorial button. Now, these are all HTML5 video tutorials that are embedded right within the platform here. You can click play to play the video. These are very passive, so you sit back and watch the instructor demonstrate the features and functionality for basic Excel in this case. You see you have options to enable the closed captioning in the lower right corner, blow this out to full screen mode. The transcript will run at the bottom and highlight the words as the instructor speaks. You can download the transcript or print the transcript. And in the upper right corner, if you expose the table of contents for this hour-and-a-half long video, you don't have to watch it from the beginning to the end. You can jump around. So if you really just want to learn how to, for instance, apply basic Excel activities or enter data or change a spreadsheet or perform basic calculations, you can click that chapter or expose the mini tutorials embedded within that chapter. So if you just want to learn how to type functions, you can click the radio button there, and that will advance to that page within the tutorial. Many opportunities for doing. Now I just muted her. She talks in my ear, but you can see that the transcript is highlighting and the closed captioning is enabled. All right, so relatively passive. You're going to watch her demonstrate, and the idea here is that you practice on your own software. Now, if you watch the entire tutorial from beginning to end, at the end, it will give you an opportunity to print a certificate of completion. Now, that doesn't mean you become Microsoft certified in any way, but it does provide a sense of accomplishment for the user to print a certificate of completion. And I can tell you that just by looking at the table of contents here, it does go into detail. So this is a great resource to go through the entire course. This will provide you with a deeper understanding of the software. And this is something that you can then maybe add to your resume, saying that you are proficient with Excel if you've taken the intermediate and basic courses. So some fabulous resources here. Okay. Let me quickly check chat to see if we have any questions. And in the last, just have 18 minutes, I'm going to go through Job and Career Accelerator. All right. So let's go ahead and click that Job and Career Accelerator. This is a platform or a center that can exist on its own. We do have some clients in the US that have only purchased Job and Career Accelerator. You all are very lucky to have the full complement of LearningExpress resources. Job and Career Accelerator is a great complement to all of these other resources, especially the Career Preparation Center. We have Job and Career Accelerator, where you can access our CODI award-winning resume builder and job letter builder. You can find a career match with our surveys. You can explore over 1,100 different occupations with our occupation cards developed by the the Bureau of Labor Statistics. It's a government website, the ONET database. We have integrations with the Indeed job search engine, as well as USA Jobs for federal job search. We have resources to help you prepare for interviewing, a career ebooks library, and we even have a resource to help students discover schools and scholarships. So if you find that going back to school is needed for you to improve your professional career, we have a school and scholarship finder. So let me click anywhere here. It's going to bring me to the landing page for Job and Career Accelerator. Once again, you can have a direct link to Job and Career Accelerator on your library's website if you want to direct patrons or job-seeking patrons right here. All right, so let me start with the Find a Career Match. I'm going to kind of think of this in terms of someone considering a new career. We've learned these days in the news that a lot of people are just up and quitting and starting their lives over. And so this is a great way to maybe explore some career options. So we've got an interest matcher, which will ask you or pose a series of statements, and you will rate them according to your interest level. And then we have a skills matcher, which will take a look at your skills and match you with relevant occupations. I believe I took the interest matcher already. So let me launch this. And no, it wasn't the interest matcher. It was a skills matcher. So let me go back to the skills matcher. In the interest of time, I already took one of these so that I can just reload it for you. I'm going to click start over, and it brings you to this page. You'll review the layout for the survey and click begin now, and then you'll see here that it's going to ask you or pose a series of statements, and you'll rate the statements according to the scale, whether you strongly agree or strongly disagree or somewhere in between. So statements like, I can paint a room in my house. Do you strongly agree or strongly disagree? I'm able to take care of sick pets. I can install software. So you'll go through the series of questions. There are 48 in this particular survey. And when you get to the end and you can't go any further, you'll click submit, and it will take your responses to your skills and match you or put you on a results graph to match you with career clusters. There are 6 career clusters listed here: science, technology, engineering, and math, information technology, manufacturing, education, finance, and agriculture, food, and natural resources. And based on the responses to that survey, it will match you according to this graph. So you can see based on my responses, I'm 100% matched with the STEM category. If you're not sure about this career cluster, you can click the plus sign to the left of the title, and it will define what this career cluster is. It also provides some sample occupations. So if you're interested in exploring STEM occupations, if you scroll down to the bottom, you can click the View Matches link, and it will show you some of your occupation matches in the STEM category. So everything from aerospace engineering to biological technicians to chemical engineers. Each of these are hyperlinks to an occupation card. So I'm going to go ahead and click chemical engineers. It's going to load that occupation card. And now we're taking a look at this occupation card. As I mentioned, it's a card that is pulled from the ONET career database. We have over 1,100 different occupation cards. We're taking a look at chemical engineers. It does define the occupation, and most of our occupation cards are equipped with maybe 1.5 to 2 minute long videos that talk about the occupation. And more important though, we have all of this information we can gather about chemical engineering as an occupation, including wages and trends. If I expose this section, it will tell you what the average salary in the United States is compared to your state. It'll always default to Alabama. We'll click down here and scroll to Vermont to see what Oh, no available data for Vermont. I apologize for that. For chemical engineers, it's based on the database. So I'll choose my state. Maybe we have something here in New York. Yes, some data is provided here. So we can see the average salary in the United States compared to your state, the number employed, the projected growth rate, as well as the number of job openings. This information is based on a 10-year period, 2018 through 2028. And our source, as I mentioned, is the Bureau of Labor Statistics and State Governments. More information provided on this career or this occupation include the knowledge, skills, and abilities needed for the occupation, the tasks and activities. Now, this is a great resource if you want to find bullet points to enhance your resume. So if you happen to be a chemical engineer, you can pull some bullet points here. So if you have a hard time with your resume, take a look at the tasks and activities section on the occupation card for your career, and you've got bullet points ready to go. Okay, so we have the occupation specific tasks, general work activities, and detailed work activities. Additional information includes technology and tools used in this occupation, the education and training needed for this occupation. If we scroll down, we see view available jobs. This is our window into our integration with the Indeed job website. So we can take a look at jobs available related to this occupation for our city, state, or zip. So I'm going to enter Burlington, Vermont, and we'll search for jobs within 50 miles of Burlington. I'll click the search icon here, and now we're taking a look at chemical engineering positions. So we've got a nutrition R&D process scientist at Perigo Company in Georgia, Vermont, listed 1 day ago. One here, process engineer in Sheldon, listed 17 days ago. If we're interested in viewing any one of these, we can click the title, or we can click the apply link. That will pop open the job posting on the Indeed website so we can learn more about this job and apply directly here. So that's just our window into the Indeed website. Okay, so I'm going to leave this occupation card. I'm going to go back to the Job and Career Accelerator Center, and we kind of navigate it through 3 sections just by taking that survey. Remember, we started with the Career Matcher survey, the skills matcher, and then that navigated us to an occupation card, and then we were able to view jobs. Now, you don't have to start with a survey to get to the occupation cards or to get to job search. You can click Explore Occupations right here and explore all of our occupation cards that are organized here by green economy and hot technology and STEM and in demand. Clicking anywhere here, you click Launch Career Tool, it will take you to a page where you can either enter an occupation by keyword. There's a keyword field here and click search, or you can explore by groups. So if I was interested in maybe a green economy occupation, I can select a sector. I'll click new and emerging sectors, and here are some occupation cards. So maybe I'm interested in maybe a biofuel production manager or chief sustainability officer. Clicking that will bring me right to the occupation card for sustainability officers, where I can review all of the information. The video is still loading here. Let me quickly see if there are wages and trends in Vermont for sustainability. There we go. So now we have some information for Vermont. So this is a fabulous field to be in. It's very well paid for this field. And projected growth apparently is not great. Maybe it's saturated, but there are 30 job openings in Vermont for this career. All right, so there we go. Let me go back to Job and Career Accelerator. We have just about 9 minutes. I'll quickly show you how you can go right to our job search. We have links for the USA Jobs federal job search. We also have our integration with the Indeed USA job search and our USA internship search with Indeed. So if you have any students looking exclusively for internships, we can launch that career tool. And you guys are close to Canada, so we also have our integrations with the Indeed Canadian internship search and the Canadian job search. Okay, so that brings you right to basic job search page where you can enter the job title, skill, or company for your city, state, or zip. You can also employ some advanced search features like employing keywords and filtering. Okay, so that's your job search. Let me go back to Job and Career Accelerator. All right, so I've moved through Career Match, Explore Occupations, Job Search. Let me quickly show you that we have a tutorial here to help you practice for interviewing, the Interview with Confidence tutorial. I'll click Start Tutorial and quickly just show you one thing here on this tutorial. Everyone, I think, could benefit from reviewing the most commonly asked interview questions. Lesson 3 in this tutorial provides some of the more commonly asked interview questions. Questions like, so why do you want this job? And why did you leave your previous job? And what has been your greatest failure? Or what did you learn from that experience? If you click that, it does provide you with a space to answer or practice your question. And then you see that we have some information about why the question is being asked. Okay. All right, so let me go back. I'm going to actually exit out of this and return to Job and Career Accelerator and quickly go over the resume builder in 5 minutes. We'll click resumes and job letters. We've got a CODI award-winning resume tool to help your patrons craft effective job letters. So we'll click this career tool. It provides a lot of structure for those who need to start a resume from scratch, and some supportive structure for those who need to enhance their resume. So I'll quickly show you a few of our resources. It asks you, how do you want to start? Do you want to create a new one or upload an existing one to edit? I'll click Create New. I'll provide a name. This is a required field. I'll select my job category for my target industry, and I'll scroll down to STEM. I'll select my job experience. I'll say that I'm mid-level, and then I'll click Start Building My Resume in the lower right corner, and that loads the resume template. There are 4 tabs on this template. There's a Build or Edit Your Resume template. There's a Browse Sample Resumes tab, excuse me, a Keyword List tab, and a Preview Your Resume tab. So on the Build or Edit Your Resume tab or template, this is what it opens to. It provides all of the sections that could be present in any given resume. It's a great resource because it reminds you of all the ways you can sell yourself on your resume. So it has all those sections of information: header, headline, highlights, experience, education, skills, and then some extra things. So if you have any licenses or certifications, you'll want to enter that. Publications, professional associations. So you enter information for what pertains, where it pertains to you, I should say. Anything you leave blank will not show up on your completed resume. So you see here, it's automatically going to load your header with the name and email address you provided when you registered, but you can edit this. So I'm sure you may want to include your LinkedIn profile or change the email address. You can click the Edit tool to change that information. The headline, the next field, if I click Add, it will give you a definition of what a headline is, and it provides a lot more information to support you in writing your own headline. We see here we even have a sample of what a headline might look like. We also provide helpful hints and things to avoid when you're writing your headline. And then at the space at the bottom, you can enter your headline and utilize our editing tools. When you're done, you click Save, and then you now have a header and a headline. Let's come down to highlights of qualifications. Let's say I review this and I open this up to learn more, and maybe I still need support. So that's where the sample resumes come in. If you click the Browse Sample Resumes tab, it will take the job category you selected and your experience level and provide a few of our resume templates to review. So I'll click this mid-level job seeker environmental engineer sample. And as I scroll down, we see that this sample is provided below. And look at this resume for Eleanor Farley. She's got some highlights of qualifications. I actually like the way she has spoken to her highlights of qualifications here. I can add it to my resume template by clicking the mustard yellow bar. And then when I go back to my template on the Build or Edit Your Resume tab, and I come down to highlights of qualifications again, clicking the Add button. Now I can add those highlights from Eleanor's resume to mine. It's going to drop her bullet points right into my section here where, of course, I'll edit it, but maybe I needed the formatting or the use of language I liked. So I'll edit it to make it mine. Click Save. And now I have a highlights of qualifications section. Okay. We've got keywords. So if anyone is familiar with the job search these days, when you submit your resume on Indeed or a job website, the applicant tracking system is actually going to scan your resume for those keyword lists. So we provide some keywords to help you enhance your resume. We have 2 keyword lists: action words by skill type. So if you need to sell your organizational skills or your research skills or your management skills, we've got a word bank for each of these areas that you can pull from. And if you need to sell your job specific words by industry type, you'll click job specific words, and maybe you are an architect, you'll select your discipline. And if you open up one of the disciplines, you'll see all of those job specific words. Okay, so that's your keyword list. When you're finished building your resume, you'll click the preview resume tab, and that shows you what your resume looks like. You can customize it further with the gear icon in the upper left. This allows you to reorder sections of the resume. And we also have several templates to help you format your resume. So if you click any of the thumbnails, you'll see how the resume changes the format and the font, and you'll select one that works for you. We've got a few more over here, I think about 5 or 6 formats. And when we are done, we'll click the little save icon. And we have our tools here in the upper right to make a copy or to download the resume, or print the resume, or email the resume. If we click the download link, this is how you export the resume out of Job and Career Accelerator and as a docx or Adobe PDF or rich text format. If you're not sure what format to use, we do provide definitions for each format. You select your format and click download. All right, so that's the resume builder. We've got 1 minute left. I will quickly go back to the landing page and just mention that in addition to a resume builder, we have a job letter builder for crafting effective cover letters, informational letters, networking letters, even job offer letters. And then last but not least, we have our schools and scholarships finder. So if you need to locate a scholarship to help pay for school, we have a database of over 24,000 scholarships totaling more than $7 billion in awards. There's a tool here. Click open the scholarship finder. You can conduct a search by keyword if you know this particular scholarship, or you can utilize our tool here where you enter your GPA, your academic year, your SAT composite, your ACT composite, and you select an award type, whether it's a scholarship, grant, or fellowship, contest, so forth. You'll select whichever you're interested in and click the search link, and that will link you or match you with scholarships that fit your criteria. So now we're looking at 607 scholarships found. I can scroll through this list. I can download it or print it in the upper left corner. Let me click the $1,000 College Jumpstart Scholarship. It provides some information about this scholarship, the application deadline, the award amount, the number of awards, as well as the contact information. Okay, so that's your scholarship finder. And getting back to the site, I know I'm 1 minute over. Just keep in mind, we do have a school finder as well. So a similar tool that will match you with relevant schools. Okay, so that's it. I do want to be respectful of your time. I hope that I have shown you that this is a powerful platform. There are so many resources here. I just scratched the surface. There are over 1,000. So when you have the opportunity, please spend some time on this platform, create an account, log in, and most importantly, let your patrons know about the wealth of resources that are being delivered to you for your patrons by the Vermont Department of Libraries. Let's see any questions in the chat. Let's see, I'm going to just say what Carrie is saying here. Such great accessibility for different abled learners, offering videos, CC, and printed transcripts. Wonderful. These are career resources are in depth. Thanks for teaching me how to better present this amazing free public access service to patrons. And I appreciate your comment, Carrie. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for your time and attention. I will be making this recording available. I'll get that to April, and hopefully we can post this on your library's website or the Vermont Department of Libraries website. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. And any other questions, I can stick around for another minute or so. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording though.
Thank you so